This is KGW News at 11.
Well, July is here, and while lots of us are enjoying the summer weather, get ready, it's about to get a lot hotter. We're looking ahead to a heat wave for the holiday weekend. So if you're planning anything outdoors, this was tonight's rainbow ride, you're going to want to be prepared. Thanks for joining us tonight for KGW News at 11. I'm Blair Best. Let's go now to meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, how hot are we talking?
Well, Blair, how do you feel about temperatures, flirting with 100 degrees? Does that feel nice to you? Does that feel
I guess. I think it'd be fun.
It's nice if you're near a body of water. Maybe you have a pool in your backyard. Regardless, people are going to be kind of scrambling here the next couple of days to find a cool place to cool off and get away from the heat, because basically from Monday and into most of next week, we're looking at temperatures 90 or above. I'll get to that in a second, but let's go outside right now on your Saturday night. Temperature of 68 degrees under clear skies, and daytime highs today topped out in the low to mid 80s. I'd call that somewhat comfortable for early July. Now, we don't typically see our peak heat until about the third week of July. But we're going to see it a little bit earlier this year. You can see over in Troutdale a temperature of 85 degrees earlier this afternoon. Again, the Dalles, you saw temperatures in the low 90s. So basically, Monday starts our heat wave with temperatures close to 90. We'll be at 95 on Tuesday for the 4th of July, and heading into Wednesday, I think that's our best chance, Blair, at seeing temperatures 100 degrees, basically right around the mid to the upper 90s to close to 100 degrees. And then we'll start to gradually see our temperatures cool off, but I'll talk more about that, just when things will cool off, coming up in about 10 minutes from now.
All right, Joe, sounds good. Well, right now we're working to learn more about a hiker who died at Multnomah Falls this afternoon. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says a man fell from a trail just before 2 o'clock. It took first responders about an hour to get to him. The group he was with says they couldn't see him after he fell. Now, the Sheriff's Office says he fell about 100 to 150 feet. By the time they got to him, he had died. The Sheriff's Office says he lost his footing during the hike. They're saying this is a reminder to make sure you're safe on the trails.
This isn't just going on a walk. This is a trail. This is a hiking trail, and so we encourage people to come prepared for an actual hike. It's not a paved walk. It's a hike.
The man's name has not been released. And a young boy is in the hospital tonight after a bad crash at a motocross race. This happened this morning at Washougal Motocross Park. A 10-year-old boy lost control of his motorcycle and was hit by 2 other riders. He had to be life-flighted to the hospital. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says he was in critical condition. Well, tonight, minimum wage workers in Oregon are earning a little bit more. Today, the minimum wage increased 70 cents statewide. But how much workers will make varies based on what county you live in. Here's Thomas Schultz.
In Portland, minimum wage is now $15.45. The standard statewide rate is $14.20. In non-urban counties, it's $12.50 an hour. Oregon unions praise the increase in pay, but some small business owners say it makes it more difficult for them to continue operations. There's a bustle of activity at Dan and Louie Oyster Bar as workers prepare for doors to open.
This was left in the till, casual labor.
Co-owner Michelle Walksmith is busy prepping the bar. But with minimum wage rising 70 cents Saturday, she knows money just got a little bit tighter.
We're still reeling from the hit we took for 3 full years, and it still hasn't recovered all the way. And so it's hard to pay people more money when you really don't have money.
Walksmith says she wants wages to rise because housing prices continue to soar. But increased pay may mean less staff.
We have to bare bones it and hope that when the rushes come, we have enough people here to cover the rush.
Representatives from the Oregon AFL-CIO, the statewide Federation of Labor Unions, said in a statement that the uptick will positively impact more than 100,000 Oregonians. They say the rise is a significant milestone. Some agree.
It's nice to see people being able to have enough money to afford the things they need to live.
But Christopher Lee Warner realizes there's 2 sides to the coin.
To some people, it's a good thing, and to small business owners that are struggling, it's not a good thing.
Small businesses like Walksmith's, which is struggling to compete with giant chains.
We recently had a cook leave, which I was paying $18 an hour, and he left because he could wash dishes and it was easier at McDonald's, literally.
Despite the bump, minimum wage workers are still a far ways off from being able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. A recent study by the National Low-Income Housing Coalition shows people need to make almost $30 an hour to afford that. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
2 days ago, the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action in higher education. That means colleges and universities won't be considering race when selecting students. Ashley Grams talked with local organizations that are bracing for this change.
One woman I talked with today told me she's concerned about the message this decision sends to students of color, many of who are already facing significant obstacles. College Possible is an organization that helps students from underrepresented communities get into college and complete their degree.
About 70% of our students are students of color. The demographic that we work with is all of our students come from low-income backgrounds.
Margarita Gutierrez Lemos has worked with these students for 7 years and says the Supreme Court's decision to strike down affirmative action will negatively impact some students.
So I think this decision is only going to increase the disparities of students of color being accepted into college, and it's going to make our program even more needed and even more crucial for the students that we support.
While she's disappointed in the decision, Gutierrez Lemos agrees that affirmative action as we know it isn't without flaw.
Affirmative action wasn't the perfect solution, and I honestly don't know what the perfect solution would be to mitigate some of the impacts that exclusion from higher education has had on students of color.
As for how this decision will play out at the university level,
we don't know what admissions offices are going to do with this decision.
Some schools, including Oregon State, have already affirmed their commitment to fostering diversity alongside this decision.
We're very strongly committed to providing for opportunities for people of diversity, whether they be students of color, adult learners of color, first-generation students.
As the nation waits for the full ramifications of this ruling, Gutierrez Lemos will continue to encourage her students.
You do belong in college, no matter what anyone says. You can be successful and graduate and enter the workforce and have a career.
Now, how this will actually look in terms of college applications remains to be seen, but several states banned affirmative action before this Supreme Court decision. So trends at schools in those areas could give us a look into what will happen across the country. Ashley Grams, KGW News.
A man is facing hate crime and assault charges for a bizarre attack on a group of Portland cyclists. The attack happened in Northwest Portland. Police say the victims were riding their bikes naked when a man attacked them with a pipe and yelled homophobic slurs. Catherine Cook has more.
Northwest 19th and Flanders, a popular thoroughfare for people on bikes and the scene of an alleged hate crime. According to a probable cause affidavit, the assault happened here June 3rd. A group of naked bike riders were on a ride when police say 39-year-old Robert Hutchins confronted them. According to police, Hutchins picked up a 3-foot metal pipe and hit 2 of the men while yelling, "Get out of here," along with a homophobic slur. Court documents note one of the victims is gay. A witness told police Hutchins swung the pipe like a bat, hitting the victims across the back. It's not clear how badly they were hurt.
If a person is gay, there's no reason to beat somebody with a pipe.
Shane Captor lives on this block. He says Hutchins, who has no listed address, is the latest person to be accused of violent crimes in this neighborhood, including assaults and car fires.
The residents in the building here, some of them are a little scared to go out at night. They're nervous, because of the fentanyl use and all the homeless people around.
Court documents show police arrested Hutchins not far from the crime scene and say he still had the pipe with him. Hutchins faces multiple charges, including second-degree assault and first-degree bias crime. For many, like Caleb Montserrat, the news is a relief, but also frustrating to hear that people still act on hatred.
Myself have trans brothers and sisters, so it's like, that just kind of hits home a little bit.
All the more reason to keep his eyes open.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looking out for other people too.
In Northwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.